This is Kristen, and today I have John with Lullwater. How are you doing today, John?
Hey, Kristen, I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me about the band. How did you guys come together?
The band formed in Athens around 2007, 2008. Just a bunch of college guys playing music, and we started in the basement and started doing cover shows and stuff like that. So yeah, we're based out of Athens and have been around for a little while.
Now, I did read that you guys take a huge inspiration from the grunge era of music. Talk to me a little bit about that and how it does shape your sound.
Well, I mean, I'm a '90s kid, and it's Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and all those bands have been really influential on the band as far as writing goes and music. Um, but yeah, I mean, to me, that was like, when Pearl Jam 10 came out, it was just mind blowing. And when I discovered that scene as an adolescent, it pretty much changed the way I looked at music and rock music, especially. So I think it's, everything that we've done really has a lot of that '90s grunge influence throughout our music. So yeah, '90s grunge is definitely a big influence on our writing.
I think you can definitely hear that, and also some of the more grungier, like the southern aspects of like metal in your music as well.
hmm
If you could name any particular person or band in the grunge era that really inspired you more than others, who would it be?
For me, it would be Pearl Jam. Definitely, I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, and I think if I ever met Eddie Vedder and those guys, I'd probably lose my mind. So yeah, I'd say Pearl Jam for sure.
Definitely, and of all the bands, Pearl Jam has really stood the test of time, and so many become succumb to so many different fates. Whether it was drugs or just crazy living or whatever. But Pearl Jam is one of those ones that's still out there doing it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and they're still killing it.
Most definitely. Now, you guys right now are on tour with Seven Dust. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's been crazy. I mean, Seven Dust Tremonti guys have been super hospitable and gracious. It's been a crazy tour. There's 5 bands on this bill. Excuse me, and everybody's sick, obviously. Um, but it's been crazy. I mean, it's really awesome shows. The shows have been really fun, and the crowd size has been great. The crowd participation's been great. Um, but again, Seven Dust and Tremonti guys are super awesome. They're nice guys, and they you know first thing they always ask us is like, how's everybody doing? Are you guys okay? So that means a lot to us as being an opener. The headliners are really looking after us and making sure that everybody's okay.
That definitely makes a difference. So tell me, how much longer does that tour run for you guys?
Oh, I think we've got 9 shows left, something like that. So maybe 12 days, almost 2 weeks. Um, so yeah, we're over the hump. I think we're on the home stretch, and obviously it's going to be bittersweet towards the end, but it's been a whirlwind for sure.
Definitely sounds like it. So, any favorite stops along the way so far?
Well, we're actually playing the Machine Shop tonight. We've got 2 nights at the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan, and that's these are the 2 shows that we've really been looking forward to um, on the tour when we got the tour schedule. So tonight and tomorrow night are gonna be fun. Again, I hate everybody that I'm definitely sick. I've got like a sinus infection, like respiratory infection, which has been really crummy the last week, 5 days. But regardless, I think tonight's gonna be for us. It's sentimental to come to this venue and Machine Shop's just a legendary venue, and it's world renowned as far as hospitality and the crowds are always amazing. So we're pumped about tonight and tomorrow.
It definitely is a legendary venue. I think you guys are going to have a great show tonight.
It should be. It should be fun.
You just released Voodoo. Talk to me a little bit more about the album release, and if for people who haven't gotten the chance to hear it all yet, what listeners can expect.
Yeah, Voodoo just got released today. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, all the streaming sites and all the stuff all over the internet. So um, I think people can expect a little bit more of a polished sound, a little bit more produced, but it's the same band. I mean, it's us, it's Lullwater. You can definitely hear sounds from the past coming back into this record. But I think it's just a more mature record, and it's a bigger record. We've got strings and we have keys and horns and stuff like that from New Orleans. So I think listeners can expect just a big rock record.
Most definitely. I did get a chance to preview it. So definitely been enjoying it, definitely been rocking out to it. Now, if
Right
you
on.
had to pick a favorite song off of that album and kind of give listeners a preview, what would it be and why?
I've had this question before, and for me, my favorite song on the record is the last song. It's "Suffer Not," um, and which is kind of crazy. Everybody's like, "Really? That's your favorite song?" I mean, it's a 10-minute song. It's just chaos. But for me, I think "Suffer Not" is the most vulnerable song on the record. It's to me is the most powerful song on the record, just from lyric content and what that song means. And it's also just, it's experimental. We decided to experiment on the last song, and also the cool part about Suffer Not is that Jacob Herman and Justin Davis in the studio were saying, all right, this is such a crazy long song that everybody gets one take, and so that song Suffer Not is every musician on the record got one take, so it makes it a little bit more special.
So talk to me about what was behind the inspiration for writing that song.
Um, I think I usually like to let the listeners and fans gain something from the lyrics that they interpret it in their own way. But I think on this one, it kind of sums up the record as far as that goes. I mean, the Suffer Not is I guess a culmination of a lot of the lyrical content on the rest of the record, but it is about it's about love lost, and it's about the struggles that musicians face while they're on the road, and the impact that being away for so long has on a musician, and the relationships that you form, the relationships that you lose because you are following not just a passion but a career path that is hard, and Suffer Not is definitely, I think it's the culmination of all the emotions that Voodoo speaks of.
I would definitely agree, and coming through experiencing all that and having so much wisdom around some of those things that musicians face, what advice would you give to new bands that are just starting up and just starting to get into this game?
I would say protect yourself and make sure you make the right choices. Make sure that if you love what you do, and you have to love this in order to do it, because it's a brutal thing, but it's the best job in the world. It's following your passion, but it also can just eat you up and change your life completely. But I would tell new bands to keep an eye out for the sharks out there. Keep an eye out for people that are trying to prey on you, and also play as much as you can and hone your craft, and be persistent with what you love to do. And I think for most bands, I mean, any band, it's hard enough as it is. But for incoming bands, it's like, stay persistent, protect yourself, don't make bad deals, and can, just play as much as you possibly can.
It is definitely hard to navigate some of those things. How do you think that you guys have done as far as, navigating what was the right decision to make business wise as opposed to things that didn't feel right, or, looking out for some of those sharks like you speak of? How do you think you guys have handled that?
Well, if I could write a book of what not to do, that would be the Lullwater story. So I think for us is we were pretty much trial by fire band, and we made decisions based on what we thought we needed, and even from early on, we got taken advantage of very early. That they kind of shaped us to be a little bit more guarded. But again, it's hard out there when you're struggling and you're trying to make a name for yourself. But again, I think we learned by mistakes that we made, and I think for us, I wouldn't have changed it. I think because of the mistakes we made, because of the trial and errors that we went through, that it makes us who we are today, and it makes us a little bit more savvy. And I think we're not a band that had like a famous dad or a famous uncle or something like that. It just blew up on an EP or something like that. We had to go through the mistakes, and we had to go through the tribulations in order to be smart and to hopefully have a sustainable career.
Right, and I think definitely when you go through some of those things that it makes your writing maybe all that much better because you have that season and experience behind it.
Absolutely, I think so too.
Now, with just releasing Voodoo, I'm sure there's lots of exciting things coming out to help market that album a little bit more. Can you tell me what kind of things you guys might be doing as far as video releases or anything special that we can expect to see?
Well, I think we have the Empty Chamber that was just released. I think we're going to be doing another video for Godlike. But a lot of our stuff we like to do in house. You know, we like to do our own videos and do tour footage and stuff like that. So I think for the most part, we probably will do one more video, but then we'll do snippets of Seven Dust Tour and stuff like that. And something cool we actually have another acoustic. We have an acoustic record that's on ice right now that should be out in May. So that's something new that's coming out after Voodoo.
Awesome. We'll definitely have to check that out. Where can fans find the release of Voodoo, and where can they also expect to see the upcoming acoustic album that'll be released?
So everything's going to be on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Pretty much just Google Lullwater Voodoo, and it'll take you to all the sites that have. Amazon should have some records, and our online store should be up by the end of the month, to where you could go to lullwatermusic.com and pre-order a record or order a record there.
Awesome. We'll make sure that we share those sites out with everybody, and any kind of cool merchandise or anything special like that you guys are pushing right now.
Yeah, I mean we've got Lullwater merch again. The online store should be up pretty soon. But as far as that goes, you know, our artist Nick Kubley, who does all of our shirt designs, you know, we're gonna have a lot of those up online.
Awesome. Sounds good. We'll have to definitely make sure we check that out. Anything else going on for you guys the rest of the 2019 year that we should know about?
I think we're just going to be on the road. That's from what the team is saying, that we're trying to push 100 plus shows this year. So definitely come check out the live show. That's what we pride ourselves on. And yeah, we'll be on the road all year.
Absolutely sounds good. We'll have to make sure that we look for dates near where everybody's located. We'll make sure we come out and support some of those shows for you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with our listeners today about your music or anything else that you guys are working on?
We appreciate the support. I mean, our fans have been super, just they've been really supportive on this new record. And you know, we can tell everybody that to hit us up on social media, because it's us that's running it and it's us that's commenting back. So again, we appreciate everybody's support.
Absolutely. Well, it's definitely been a pleasure speaking with you today. I know you need to get probably some rest in before your big show tonight at the Machine Shop.
Chris, it's been awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have a kick-ass show tonight.
Right on.